Jai student of class 9th. Today we are going to start the second unit of second chapter, that is The Wind, a poem written by Subramanya Bharati. My dear students, in this poem we will learn what is the impact of a wind. Right? So my dear students, without making a delay, let's have a start of the topic. The first one, as you can see, winds come softly, don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers, don't throw down the books on the safe. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books, you brought rain again. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. My dear students, first have a look of the tough hard words as the meaning of weaklings. So what is the meaning of weaklings? A person who is weak. A person who is weak. Okay? The second one is poking. What is the meaning of poking? Making fun on someone. Right? Self means a place to put on something. Right? Scattered means to spread around. Right? So my dear student, this was the hard words. Now just let's have a look up to this one, the explanation. The poet is taking to the wind. He asked the wind to come softly. So he is saying that the wind should not be very strong and loud it should be soft and subtle. Then he says that the wind is very powerful, it is destructive, it breaks the shutter of the windows and scatters the papers. When the wind is very powerful, all the books which are kept on the safe fall down. So, here the poet is describing the power of the wind. Then he says to the wind to look at the destruction that he had done. Whenever there is a strong wind, all the things that are weak, like small plants, tiny children, etc., they all get scattered and they can even fall and get hurt. So my dear students, we can say that in the initial part of the poem, in the starting of the poem, the poet is referring to the wind as a young child. He is saying that it should come softly, just like a small child. In the latter part, we come to know that the wind is destructive like a youth, just like a young boy or a young girl who is full of energy, violence and destruction. Now, the second stanza: frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling woods, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. My dear students, what's the meaning of this crumbling? So the meaning of crumbling is falling or to cause. Falling or to cause, and that's something to break. Okay? Falling something to break or cause something to break. Then after, the second meaning is rafters. Okay? Crumbling rafters. Rafters means sloping beam. Sloping beam that is supported the roof of the building. So my dear students, here the poet used the word crumbling is repeated in repeated mode. Why? Because everything crumbles in the face of a strong wind. So the writer is saying that when the wind is very powerful, it is very strong, it leads to the breakage of everything. Houses which are weak will fall, doors which are weak will fall, and the beams on which the roof of the building are supported, they also fall. All the wooden structures fall, all bodies, people fall, animals, lives, hurts. So he is saying that everything crumbles, everything that is weak reacts by falling down and breaking in the face of adversity. So the poet is saying that whenever a weak person faces any adversity or a challenge in life, he breaks down, falls. So here you can see very well that the poet is again and again comparing your lives to again and again comparing this poem to the lives. So my dear students, now just have a look on the next stanza. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. Now in the end, the poet is addressing to wind as a wind god, as he is saying that the powerful god of wind winnows. That means he shifts all the people, and those people who are weak fall down and got crushed. So here comparison is made between wheat and a people. Wheat and a people, just like the winnows the wheat to separate grain from the chaff. The wind god separates the strong people from the weak people. When there is a strong wind, all the things that are weak fall and get crushed. Now, my dear students, let's have a look another. He won't do what you tell him. So come, let's build strong homes. Let's join the doors firmly. Practice to form the body. Make the heart steadfast. Do this, and the wind will be friends with us. Okay, so my dear students, now the meaning of steadfast. Now the meaning of steadfast is firm. Okay, so dear student, now the poet wants us to make friends with the winds. As example, the adversities in our lives. He says that the problems will not listen to us, they will come. So we should be prepared. In preparation, we should build strong homes and close to the doors of our houses firmly, so that the wind cannot get into. And then he says, and then my dear student, he says that we should also make our bodies strong and hearts firm to face these challenges. And then once we are strong enough, all the challenges will be like friends. We will not feel that they are troublesome. Now, at the last stanza of the poem, my dear students, that is written, the wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. Now, what the meaning of flourish? The meaning of flourish is to grow. Now, at the last stanza of the poem, what poet Subramanya Bharati says, the poet has kept the wind on a pedestal. Pedestal is a place where you can stand. He is comparing the wind to God. He says that the wind is God and we praise wind every day. He adds that everything that is weak gets finished off in the face of the strong wind, and all the things that are strong flourish and grow to become stronger. He is giving us a very important message that we should not feel bad that we are facing so many challenges and the problems and adversities in the lives. We should make ourselves physically and mentally strong to face these challenges, and once we are strong enough, we will be overcome the challenges, we will be friends with them, and then we will be happy that we had these challenges in our lives, because they help us become stronger and better. Now, my dear students, let's have a look at some literary devices that have been used in this poem. So that is the rhyming scheme. First, if we'll look at the rhyming scheme, as I have previously told you inside the class, that you will have to look after the last words of each and every single line. That will be helpful for the rhyming scheme. So in the entire poem that is written in a free verse, that means because there is no any literary devices, no any other pronunciations are similar. That way it is called a free verse, right? Then first literary device that is used as an anaphora. When a word, and what an anaphora is, when a word is repeated at the start of two or more consecutive lines, it is the device of anaphora. You can see the second, third and fourth line started from the same word. That's why the anaphora is used. Now, wind is compared as a person. That means the personification has been also introduced. Okay, so now literary devices that we have used, the first one is written in free verse, right? Then after, what is written? We have seen that the personification personification, it has been used. Anaphora, anaphora has been used, right? So these are the literary devices. One another, repetition. As you can see, a single word is being repeated again. Crumbling, that one is also crumbling. So dear students, this one will be repetition. Then after alliteration, alliteration means that the repetition of the consonant sound in the close connection, that the winds winnows. As you can see, that the winds winnows, okay, wind winnows. In the same line, two words are started with the same sounds, that means it will be alliteration. Then after symbolism, symbolism means, it means that the refers the sum of the other things. Wind is a symbol, wind is compared as a symbol, and what is it? It is actual the problems, the obstacle in our life, the challenges that we are facing, right? So my dear students, that was all about this chapter. I think all the points is clear to you, and further if you are getting any issues, then definitely you are free to ask inside the class group. So my dear student, we will meet in the next video session. Up to the time, thank you, have a nice day.